everyone. Today I am going to be replacing the driver's side actuator on my 2002 Hyundai Santa Fe. Here you can see I have my actuator. It's still in the bag. I did go with an OEM actuator. I don't want to go through the trouble of installing an aftermarket one and having it not work properly. So we're going to go ahead and install this. Alright, so the first thing you'll want to do here is you'll want to come over here and remove your door panel. So in order to do that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 screws. So some of them will have a plastic cap on them that go right here. It covers the head of the screw. You can just use a small pick or even a small flat-headed screwdriver to get those off, and it'll just go right in there and pop them out. And then all of these should be Phillips. Once you have all 6 of your screws removed, you can use a flat-headed screwdriver or use your fingers and pull out to disconnect your panel here. Once you have the sides disconnected, you can do the same thing for this upper speaker. You just pull straight out on it. It should just pop right out. It's just one fastener. Set that off to the side, and then in order to get this off, you need to pull out and then lift up. When I say out, I mean toward you, and then you'll walk it up. On the back side here, you'll have 3 connections. One is to your power locks and the mirror. One is to the windows. And the third one is to your marker light on the inside door panel. So I went ahead and moved my camera over to the shade. I'm going to show you what the new actuator looks like. Looks like it is only held in by 3 screws, which are on the exterior of the door right at the latch. And then you have an electrical connection right on the bottom here. And then these 2 pieces will have little clips on them that are holding them into place. So I'll do my best to show you these clips, although they may be difficult to show you inside the door panel. So we'll go ahead and start taking this apart and see what we run into. I do see some threaded holes right here. So those may actually be going through the interior door panel. Alright, so you'll have to excuse the tight spot here. But as you can see, that top fitting will just move to the inside of the door panel on the cable there. Or see if I put my hand up there. So this here goes down like this. And then you push it that way. And then the bottom one, this cable is in the hole. See if I can line it up. It's going to try to focus on my hand there. So it's in the hole, and you just push it toward the outside of the door like that, and then that cable comes out like that. So sorry it's blurry. It tried to focus in on my hand, but that's how those 2 connections will come off. Be careful with them. You do not want to break them. The new actuator doesn't come with replacement clips. Once you have the inside clips removed, go ahead and remove all 3 of these screws here. Alright, so I feel like the cables here are binding up, so I'm going to go ahead and remove my lever here. That way I don't have any resistance. So that's a 10mm nut there. And then you have 2. These were in there really tight. I was not able to break it loose with my impact. So then you have 2 Phillips. Alright, so now I have this here. Should give me some play. So in order to get the mechanism out, you will have to remove the railing for the window. So I taped the window and wedged it, which I will show you. And then I'm going to remove these two 10mm bolts here. I taped the window up, and then I didn't use a wedge, I just used the stick. I wedged the stick in there. I believe this tape is strong enough to hold the window in the upward position. So this is what we just unbolted here. Alright, when trying to disconnect this electrical harness, there is a plastic clip here that sticks through. Just pinch it with your fingers, push it in, and it'll give you a lot more play to pull this out. And then you will be able to remove the harness way more easily. Just want to show you real quick. So I exposed the bottom of this, and I took a flat-headed screwdriver here, and I set it right inside here and just gently pressed up on it. That way I could pull this back to be able to get the piece out. It is very difficult to remove, but once you have a line of sight with this, you could just put this in there, and I stress being gentle on it. Just pull up on it just a little bit and then pull out, and it should just come unclicked. Alright, so I know this is difficult to see here, but if you take a screwdriver, you press inward, you can see that this clip, oh there you go, see it just unclips, and then this metal rod will push straight forward, and that'll disconnect that one. Now we want to move on to the next one here. It's hard to see, it is the same thing. Let me see if I can get you a better view. Get your screwdriver in there, and it needs to come that way. So I got it unclipped. See if you can see it move a little bit right here. No, maybe you can't actually. So you can see it right in there. So you just push it off to the side, and then this cable actually has to come out toward you. It seems like there is a Phillips screwdriver or Phillips screw right on the other side here. If you are able to remove that, you may be able to remove this whole plastic piece. I'm not going to try to force it out too much because I had to get the new one in without bending these rods, so perfect time to practice here. Alright, so I have it pulled out at this angle here. It is accessible to get that screw from the bottom side. Got my impact here. So you can see your rods have to go through these two holes here. Although it looks like my new setup just has to swap these pieces here. So pull this out. Show you compared to my new one. So this is what we're looking at right there. So this plastic cover here will have to be placed here, which I will do after I get my two latches connected here and here. Alright, so this is a little weird, but we're going to try and put the cables back in. It looks like it'll go on this way, right here. Only go on one way, so there we have it. And I'm going to find my little screw, this guy right here, run it back in that hole, once that's in there, turn this sideways. See if I can put my cables in. So my cables are pretty close. You'll want to use a flathead, or needle nose pliers would work as well. So once you have it in there, grab your plastic clip, slip it over. So you can see that I got that one in. And then this is actually in the wrong place. Let's see if I can swipe it down. Taking this cover back off. Because my cable did not go on the outside of this metal bracket inside. So there we have that. It's back in there. Sorry, it's a bit of a pain in the ass here. This one here, see if we can maybe go push that in and pull this lever up. Again, a pair of needle nose pliers may be easy to, I mean the gap's not that big, so might not be able to use it. I have it. See if I can put this in the bottom here, press on the back. There we go. You can see that that just snapped in there. So once that's snapped in, move your plastic lever up. I'm not sure if this is useful to, or if you can see it. It just takes a lot of meticulous work here. So you can see that the plastic piece is close to the bar. And I'm going to put this in and snap it over it. Not feeling it click. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and rerun the screw through the back side since I had to disconnect it. Alright, so now I'm going to try to walk this back in there. My fingers crossed. It's hard to get out, so hopefully it's easy to get back in. Make sure that you have your two rods in the upright position, and your electrical will be on the bottom. Now is actually a good time to connect the electrical. Make sure it's on there good. Alright, so far so good. You can sort of see on the outside here, right up here, you can see that it's pretty close to being lined up. I'm going to clip those two connections on the inside here. Then I will start my screws but not tighten them down on the outside of the door. Once you have the two cables or the two rods connected, just make sure you line these two holes up right here. And just slide the piece all the way over and it should just snap right in. Put your fingers on the bottom of the weather stripping and put some force up on it to line it up like that. And there you have it. I have my railing back in. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this. Doesn't have to be very tight. And then that electrical that we disconnected earlier, you want to make sure it goes right back through this slot here. So you'll have it right there. That'll keep it out of the way of the window when the window is going all the way down. This here is to the side marker on the door. So you want to make sure this is through this bottom hole. So I have these three screws started. just hand tight there, and then I replace the handle back up here, have everything started. So I'm going to go ahead and run all 6 of those down, just snug.